first race of the season, a 1-2 finish for Mercedes. A great start from Toto Wolff's team. But it was not easy at the start but before the start of the race, before the lights even went on, Oscar Piastri crashed. Yes, that's right. Oscar Piastri crashed before the start of the race. I mean, like, first of all, I really feel sad for the Oscar Piastri fans, because there was the grandstand of Oscar Piastri in that circuit, and there was a lot of Oscar Piastri fans in that circuit as well. A lot of Oscar Piastri caps, and for them to come to the circuit and see their golden boy crashing and not even participating in the race. Yeah, that's, like, for example, me being in their position, I'll be so sad. I'll be absolutely devastated, really, really devastated. So I'm really feel sorry for Oscar Piastri fans, and for the people who came to the grandstand to watch him and to support him. But for Oscar Piastri, him personally, I mean, I watched the onboard where he crashed for the installation lap. He was making the installation lap and he crashed. Why do you go over that curb? Why do you go that hard? I really didn't get it. Like, why would we do something that was so silly from Oscar Piastri? Yeah, there's a bit of car error, but I also think that it was a bit of driver error. So I think it's both. In my opinion. These kind of regulations, require some things that you have to do, some adjustments you have to do in terms of the driving, etc. So why you go in that way? Why you crash in that way and you go over that curve? That didn't make any sense to me. But especially before the start of the race, before in the installation lap, why did you do that? Doesn't make any sense. So yeah, I have to say I feel sorry for him as well. But like, you put yourself in that situation, and what a bad mistake to do. Such a bad thing to do. Like, you let your country down with this kind of bad mistake. Like, yeah. Like, by the way, all the people who were saying that McLaren and Zach Brown was sabotaging Oscar Piastri, and they robbed him of winning the championship last season. So you watched what he did yesterday, and you still think they sabotaged him? It's just, this kind of mistakes, he needs to cut it out. I mean, Oscar Piastri is a fantastic driver, and a caliber of his driver, he has a chance to win a world championship in the future. But if he wants to win the championship, he has to cut out this kind of silly errors. He has to cut it, which was one of the big reasons why what it cost him the championship at the end of last season, where he was having a good lead over Lando and Verstappen, and he threw that away with a lot of silly mistakes. So yeah, except the Qatar race, he was making a lot of silly mistakes, and yeah, it's not good at all. And then the start of the race happened, and what a start from Charles Leclerc! What a start! It was like a dream start for Ferrari. Charles Leclerc went from fourth to first, and it was crazy because if you watch the start very carefully, he didn't have the best start, but then you realize he had a lot of space, and he had the excellent lunge to pass Hadjar and to pass Russell really quickly. I think there was a bit of like contact between him, or a bit of touch between him and Hadjar, but the starting bit was unbelievable, and he showed Leclerc why he's a fantastic driver. He's a fantastic driver, and what a great start from Leclerc. Very, very good start, brilliant from him. And then, you think like, okay, but still Mercedes, how Mercedes going to cope with it? How they're going to respond? And not only Leclerc, by the way, made a great start. Hamilton. I mean, there was all this joke of him going from ninth to first in the Bahrain testing. But you watch this start, I mean, amazing start for him. 7th to 3rd, brilliant start. brilliant. And Ferrari were looking good. They were first position and they were third position. They were looking good. Mercedes had the dreadful start. Russell conceded the first position. Antonelli had an awful start from second to seventh. And you know, Ferrari had an amazing start where it was the opposite for Mercedes. Arvin Leblanc, what a start from him as well. Absolutely fearless, by the way. You know, going past two world champion drivers, Lando and Lewis. Fantastic passing from, fantastic overtakes from him in those two drivers. What a great start. At some point he was in third position. I mean, in his debut as well. I mean, what a great start he made. What a great performance Arvin Leblanc produced as well. He finished 8th, I think. Yeah, 8th. A great start from him and impressive debut for a rookie like him. So I'm excited to see, considering the performance he did this weekend. I'm excited to see what he's going to do in the upcoming for the rest of the season. So very good performance from him. But then you look at you look at Leclerc, and then there was the Leclerc-Russell battle for the first position. And when Russell went past, I think Leclerc in the lap third, you think like, yeah, that's it. A lot of people, I thought, a lot of people thought like, yeah, that's it. Mercedes is going to win. Russell is going to win about 40 seconds, but it was not like that. You know, Leclerc was very smart in the way he managed it in his battle with Russell. He found great opportunities in the right time to overtake Russell again. He did it twice. It was back and forth with these two. Leclerc overtook Russell, then Russell overtook him. Then Leclerc took it back, then Russell took it back, then Leclerc took it back. It was amazing, great. And then at some point Lewis was involved in the fight as well for the first position. It was a great piece of racing. I mean, there's been lots of criticism in these regulations, and rightly so. But you look at the race, and it was a fantastic race. You have to say it was a fantastic race. Listen, there's a lot of problems still there, but the race start and the first half of the race, it was fantastic, brilliant. And then Verstappen obviously was coming back from the pack. He was coming back from P20 to P6. However, there was some unfortunate moments happened in the race. I think Hajar had to DNF because obviously he had an issue in the car. So as also Valtteri Bottas, he had an issue in his car where he had to stop his car, and it was both. They were both virtual safety cars. And by the way, I'm very unfortunate for Hajar because I thought Hajar had a decent qualifying and a decent race. And then you look at the both virtual safety cars. Like all the teams pitted. Like Verstappen pitted, Norris pitted, both Mercedes pitted. Whereas Ferrari, like they were leading the race and they were third, and then they didn't even pit either of them. They didn't pit either of them. I don't know why they didn't do that. I don't know why they didn't do that. Why they don't pit? Like why they don't pit? Like why they didn't pick any of them? Again, once again, another Ferrari. Sorry, I'm not to say this, but another Ferrari fuck up. Ferrari bottled it again. Like, listen, I'm not saying if if Ferrari got the strategy right, that means that Ferrari would have won the race. Who knows? Because I still think Mercedes. You look at this overall weekend, Mercedes had a better pace than Ferrari. But at the same time, like, why don't you give yourself a better chance? And Ferrari didn't help themselves at all with the strategy. Yes, you could say, oh, but when they had the chance to make it the second time the pit stop, the pit lane was closed and Valtteri Bottas stopped in the near pit lane. Yeah, but there was the first virtual safety car when Isaac Hadjar stopped. Why you didn't go and make pit stops? So that was a very, very strange decision by Ferrari not to go into the pits. Like, not everything is by data, by the way. Because that's what I assume the Ferrari engineers did. They're like, oh, but if this tire is not going to last long, etc., etc. So not everything is about data. The data is not always right. If the data was always right, then Max Verstappen would have passed Lando Norris for the 5th position, because he had fresher tires and he would pass him hard to medium, but he didn't. So yeah, again, Ferrari. You have to say that they performed quite well in the race. And they started the race very well, but you're like, as a Ferrari fan, you're like, could have been better. It could have been better if we got the strategy right. So I'm not saying that the Ferrari pace were matching Mercedes pace this weekend, but like, why don't you give yourself a better chance? And Ferrari didn't do that. And yeah, you look at and that's it. That's the results for the race. Mercedes 1-2. Congratulations for Mercedes. A very good start from them. I mean, I don't think Mercedes were at their best, in my opinion, in terms of pace. I think they could have even shown more pace, in my opinion. Russell, it was not easy for him at the start. He conceded the first position to Leclerc, and then he had to work for it. Well, it was obviously back and forth between him and Leclerc for first position. Mercedes got I don't think Mercedes were at their best. I think, Antonelli was making some mistakes this weekend. Even though he finished second, Russell conceded the first position to Leclerc. I don't think the two Mercedes drivers were at their best, but they managed to get 1-2. So you have to give credit to Mercedes because they showed a very good pace this weekend, and the qualifying they were magnificent, especially Russell, and they got the strategy right at the right time, better than the other team who were also fighting for the win. So very good win for a very good start and very good win for Mercedes. 1-2 Russell and Antonelli. Antonelli, despite he finished second, I mean, his weekend was anything but smooth. I mean, Ep3 crashing, going up the gravel in the Q3 first running, and then he finished P2. So you have to give him credit that he still produced that good result, despite all some problems he had all weekend. So yeah, but very good stuff for Mercedes. Not a bad stuff for Ferrari, even though it could have been better. And yeah, Russell is now leading the championship for the first time in his career, but obviously that means nothing because after one race. So yeah, can Mercedes keep this going? Can they do it next week in China? I mean, they showed great pace this weekend, but obviously it's one race. It's very early still. They're gonna have to keep it going. They're gonna have to keep being this consistently good if they want to win both championships, Mercedes and George Russell. So yeah, I think if you ask me who has a better chance of winning the Drivers' Championship, Russell or Antonelli, I think Russell, because obviously he has more experience and he makes less mistakes than Antonelli. Antonelli is a fantastic driver. His raw speed is incredible, but he has to iron out his mistakes. So yeah, if Mercedes have this advantage over the whole season as people, and we saw in this race advantage for Mercedes, if they continue this advantage for the rest of the season, then yeah, Russell has a very good chance of winning the championship. But I wouldn't underestimate Ferrari, I wouldn't underestimate McLaren, and I wouldn't for sure underestimate Red Bull and Max Verstappen. So yeah, Verstappen did a very good comeback, 6th position from P20. Lando Norris, 5th position. He got most of everything out of that car. I mean, so was Max for Red Bull. I mean, McLaren and Red Bull struggled in their pace compared to Mercedes and Ferrari. And yeah, Behrman, I thought he had a very good race. Very good points for him, finishing 7th. Arvid Liblan, as I said, brilliant performance from him. Bortoletto, points for Audi. Good performance for him. Gasly, considering he had problems in the qualifying, not bad for him to finish on the point. So yeah, and it was a very good race, especially the first half of the race where there was a lot of action, a lot of drama especially in that first lap. So if this kind of great starts that we saw in this race continue for the rest of the season, we're gonna have an amazing season in terms of racing. I'm pretty sure of that. So yeah, but obviously not every race is going to be like this. So let's see what happens. But yeah, great start for George and great start for Mercedes, and a fantastic performance from them, a fantastic result as well. As we head next week to China. That's it, guys. Thank you. I wish you a nice day. See you next time, and goodbye.